There you go.
Hello, today I would be like to talking about police brutality, which is a crime against people of color conducted by a butchered system. So with this being a very, recent kind of topic we're seeing a lot of, mainly in the 21st century, there's been a lot of talk about defunding the police, and that can be defined as reallocating or redirecting funding away from police departments to other government agencies funded by the local municipality. And my big idea with this is, in order to end police brutality, America must look at the solutions, how to implement them, and what this will mean for the future. So one big thing that I focused on is the police training. As you can see, only 39% of agencies require conflict management, and this is really important for high stress situations. It helps officers control their emotional and physiological reactions, and this is really important. We're trying to avoid anybody dying, and if officers know how to diffuse and talk down suspects, we can really ensure that. And some more I'd like to say on the training is that on average, about 60 hours go to firearms, 44 hours goes to self-defense, and only 8 hours goes to taser training. And this is really something that we should be looking at, because officers are taught that they need to be afraid, that they should shoot first and ask questions later. And especially with this type of training, that's exactly what they're going to do. If they don't know how to work a taser and they don't know much about self-defense, they're immediately going to go for their gun first. And then some statistics that I would like to focus on is 0.09% of officers are assaulted, 0.02% of officers are injured, and 0.0008% of officers are killed. And this is really something to look at. If you are an officer of the law, or you know somebody who isn't, you're afraid for their life, or they're afraid for their life, and they think, I've got to shoot first, and I shouldn't really question what's happening. This can help them know that there is not a very big likeliness that they are going to die. And you can see here in these pictures, we see the officers bolted with their guns, heavy armor, and these are likely at peaceful protests, and this is something that they're just scared. But in reality, they should look at these and know, well, there is not a big chance that I am going to be facing any issues. And so next I would like to focus on Stop and Frisk, which was made by Michael Bloomberg, who is a former mayor of New York. And this strategy gave New York police officers sweeping authority to stop and search anyone they suspected of crime. And it was even ruled by a federal judge in 2013 that this violated the constitutional rights of minorities, because it really affected people of color, and it shows how vital it is to create stronger training and boundaries for police officers. So now we're going to look at possible ways we can implement this new training. And this can be done through proper funding, and then another way we can help police officers is through connecting with their community. So if we have a lot of funds going to police officers, and we don't really have a lot going to the community, so maybe we either change the amount of funds or we redirect those fundings into better areas like the police training that I think would be beneficial. And then connecting with the community is really important. If officers know who the people are and they understand the community, then they are going to build a very strong trust with the people that they have. And that's going to create a sense of just, I can trust this officer, they care about my well-being, they know what it's like here, and I think that's really beneficial. So looking at some big cities, in Atlanta, 13% of the city's budget goes to police training and only 3% goes into the community. And that really says a lot. If 13% is going into police, but they're not doing their job well enough, then what does that say? And then same with Chicago, 18% goes to police and 6% goes to planning and development, which is an aspect of the community. And one major counter argument is that a lot of people think that if we change the money or we change the training, there's going to be a heavy increase of violence. And citizens also believe that this is going to lead to improper training and less protection of themselves. The reality of it is that redirecting these funds is believed to help reduce the violence, because police officers have been historically oppressive. So maybe if we change the training and we change the funding, there could be a high chance that America could achieve greater things. And to conclude, having police officers with more education and better mindsets allows for smarter, calmer police officers. Defunding the police and police brutality has allowed for more doors to open to other social issues, especially things like systematic racism. And hopefully if we look at all the aspects of America that spread discrimination or racism, we can help this country for the better.